Read people like a book. Imagine walking into a room and instantly sensing who's sincere, stressed, or hiding something. Sounds like intuition? Read People Like a Book by Patrick King shows that this ability isn't magic. It's an actual skill rooted in psychology and observation. Patrick King begins by reminding us how complex humans are beneath the surface. We display emotions through words, expressions, gestures, and tone. Yet most people miss these hidden signals. His goal? To empower readers to understand not just what someone says, but what they feel and think. The introduction makes an important distinction. Reading people isn't about manipulation. Rather, it's about empathy, self-awareness, and clarity. King encourages soft curiosity, approaching every interaction as a mini-mystery to be gently solved. And he assures us, this isn't reserved for body language experts. It's learnable, practical, and deeply human. Lay the foundation, observing baselines. We don't emerge from the womb as human lie detectors. King stresses that effective people reading starts with establishing a baseline, understanding how a person behaves when calm and ordinary. This baseline becomes your point of comparison. When signals shift, for example, you might know Susan usually sits upright, smiles easily, and maintains soft eye contact. But if today she's slouching, frowning, or avoiding eye contact, that's your clue something's up. King warns against forming judgments based on one-off gestures, like questioning a friend's loyalty just because they crossed their arms. Instead, he advocates for multiple data points. Observe over time and across contexts. The more you see how someone normally acts, the easier it is to recognize deviations. He also urges us to check our own biases. Are you interpreting someone's nervousness as dishonesty because you're suspicious by nature? Recognizing bias puts you in the driver's seat of your own perceptions. Words, tone, and motives. People don't just speak, they reveal themselves. Through the words they choose. King breaks speech into categories. Thinking words. I think, he, in my opinion, suggest reflection. Feeling words. I feel. I'm angry. Signal emotional transparency. Action words. I do. I will. Show drive and decisiveness. Motivation words. I want. My goal is. Highlight underlying desires. This language can offer windows into intent. For instance, someone who frequently says, I think, may be cautious or doubtful. An overuse of I want may reflect ambition or unfulfilled desires. Then there's tone. Fast speech can signal excitement or stress. A flat tone can reveal detachment. King also highlights the power of open-ended questions because they encourage others to reveal more than they planned, showing motivation, hesitation, or even contradictions. The eyes and expressions. Reading the invisible. Expressions are the soul's leaks, and the eyes are its windows. King explains that facial expressions, especially microexpressions, can reveal real emotions faster than words. Take a forced smile. It might cover up sadness or anger. But if the eyes don't crinkle with it, the smile is fake. Looking at pupil dilation, blinking rate, and eye movement provides clues. Rapid blinking signals stress. Wandering eyes might show distraction or dishonesty. Steady gaze may indicate confidence or intimidation. But King is cautious. Context matters. A parent's tired gaze after a midnight rescue doesn't signal insecurity. It reflects fatigue. So, always blend observation with awareness of situation. Body language and posture. Your body never stops talking. Posture reveals comfort or tension. Slumped. Shoulders often indicate defensiveness or low energy. Open stance signals ease. Hand gestures add nuance. Palms up usually reflect openness, while crossed arms suggest resistance. Mirroring, copying another's posture subtly, creates rapport. But overdo it? It becomes mimicry and feels awkward. King also explains clusters of gestures, groups of behaviors that together mean something. A single fidget could be random. Crossed arms plus an evasive gaze? That's more likely discomfort or disagreement. Understanding personal space counts too. Invading someone's bubble without consent often causes anxiety. All these visual clues are essential for navigating human interactions, but only when seen together, not in isolation. Detecting lies. Everyone lies sometimes, but how can we spot it ethically? King debunks the myth of a universal liar's tell. Instead, he suggests a smarter approach: strategic questioning. Start with non-threatening, open questions. Then introduce surprise or complexity to overload their mental script. His term cognitive load. People fabricating stories struggle when forced to improvise. Examples include asking the same question in different ways, moving from general to specific quickly, observing inconsistency between words and emotion. He stresses empathy. False. Assumptions ruin trust. Instead, read behavior trends, not single gestures, and always be humble in your conclusions. Personality and motivation. People aren't one size fits all. King explores personality frameworks like the Big Five: openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism, to explain how traits shape behavior. A detail-oriented person, high conscientiousness, is punctual. A high openness person embraces novelty. Recognizing these traits helps tailor approach. Engaging an extrovert requires energy. A stolid thinker prefers facts. Motivation runs deeper. King ties this into Maslow's hierarchy, from basic safety to self-actualization, to explain why people act how they do. A colleague working overnight? Maybe they crave recognition. A friend brushing off plans? Maybe they just need rest. Context, again, matters. Behavior in one setting might not apply in another, like introverts at a party acting bolder after wine. King doesn't shy from darker realities. He introduces the dark triad: narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. These traits warp behavior. Think grandiosity, narcissist, manipulation, Machiavellian, and lack of empathy, psychopathy. He advises red flags: charm without depth, self-centeredness, calculated lies, or superficial empathy. But always use people reading to protect, not punish. Spotting manipulation helps with boundaries, not fueling paranoia. Enhance emotional intelligence to stay safe while remaining empathetic. Advanced emotional biases and dark traits. King doesn't shy from darker realities. He introduces the dark triad: narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. These traits warp behavior. Think grandiosity, narcissist, manipulation, Machiavellian, and lack of empathy, psychopathy. He advises red flags: charm without depth, self-centeredness, calculated lies, or superficial empathy. But always use people reading to protect, not punish. Spotting manipulation helps with boundaries, not fueling paranoia. Enhance emotional intelligence to stay safe while remaining empathetic. Bringing it all together. By now, you might feel like Sherlock, But King reminds us, it's not about becoming a spy. It's about connection. He blends baseline observation, word and tone analysis, eye and expression reading, body cues and clusters, personality and motivation, lie detection, self-awareness and bias. Into a framework built on empathy and ethics, King encourages practice. Start small. Watch conversations in cafes. Note how people sit, speak, and react. Reflect on your bias. Ask thoughtful, open-ended questions. With time, your insights sharpen. Yet, you stay human. In closing, King fights the temptation to weaponize this skill. He writes, "This knowledge grants responsibility, not power." Reading people well helps us build trust support, heartfelt communication, avoid misunderstandings, navigate social tensions gracefully. When used with compassion, this becomes a gift, not a trick. Thanks for listening to this audiobook summary of Read People Like a Book by Patrick King. If you found these insights helpful and want to improve your social skills, body language, and understanding of people, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more book summaries. Comment below which book you'd like me to cover next. Stay curious and keep learning how to read people like a book.